return to the
It is Friday. We like Fridays around here because somebody a long time ago decided if we put Saturday and Sunday together and call it a weekend, we have a weekend. We're not there yet. 26th day of January, 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for joining us for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 32 degrees, not nearly as foggy and cloudy as it has been for the last couple of days. Going to be dry for the most part today, for the most part. And then overnight tonight it's going to start raining. When you get up tomorrow morning on Saturday, it'll be raining. It's going to rain all day Saturday. It's going to rain Saturday night and right about till noon on Sunday. And the temperatures are going to start climbing in a significant way. So get ready for some snow melt. A lot of it has already occurred. More will be happening over the weekend. Your warm and wet forecast is coming up, as will be the news. Busy sports, of course. It's Friday. It's always busy. We'll do some highlights of some college basketball, preview what we got going on this weekend in the world of sports, wrapping up on Sunday with the NFC and AFC championship games, getting ready for the Super Bowl. And in the back half of the program, we wanted to give our friends at the Alethea Writing Center one more dose of love because we like them a lot. And they're holding this immersion event for veterans in North Central Washington today, tomorrow, and Sunday up at the Alethea Writing Center in the Sleepy Hollow area. That's a cool deal. You're going to hear from Nancy. You're going to hear from Jim again. A great interview that we did up there about a week and a half ago. We're going to play it for you again on this Friday because the event's this weekend, so why not? Give them some good stuff. Lots to go touch on today. Let's go. It's 2 minutes after the hour. Our cameras around the valley are looking pretty good today. Like I said, not nearly as cloudy and foggy as it has been. We are sitting right at 32 degrees. Yesterday's high, 34. Yesterday's low, 32. That was it. 2-degree difference between the high and the low. It happens when you have the clouds and the fog and the inversion. Sunrise coming up a little bit earlier, 7:34 this morning. Sunset this afternoon, if you will, 4:53, 9 hours and 18 minutes of daylight. We're gaining about almost 2 minutes of daylight a day this time of the year. Of course, by this time next week, it'll be February. And then we'll March and then spring. And I say, bring it on. Up to the Rock Island camera we go. There you go. Hello, Rock Island. Again, the golf course is closed. Just don't bother going out there to play golf because there's no golf to be had. Good morning to Rock Island. Malaga on the other side of the river and all the way up to the Stimelt Basin from our Rock Island camera. The Omi Garden camera looks really good today. Check this out. Da-da-da-da. In fact, you can actually see the cross right smack dab in the middle of your screen. You can see the cross lit up. Of course, a few years ago, they switched out the cross lights from the old halogens to LEDs. Makes it a lot brighter, saves a lot of electricity, and it is cool. That's a nice view there from the Omi Garden camera, high above the Stimelt complex. And finally, let's peek over the top of McNeil Canyon to Lake Chelan, which looks something like that. Looks like Lake Chelan, with a sizable body of water there, has a little more fog and clouds. That's apt to happen. Once again, the sunshine is taking the day off. In fact, we're not going to have any sunshine at all right through your long-term forecast. We're going to be in a very cloudy but mild weather pattern. So don't look for the sun. You'll have to go somewhere else for the sun, folks. Sorry about that. If you're traveling in the Cascades, you're going to find a wintry mix, especially along the east slopes all the way down to the Lake Wenatchee area. So kind of a wintry mix on Stevens Pass, mostly late today into the evening hours. A little bit of snow, but not a lot coming our way. And the snow level is going to be quite high, but it could get a little dicey at the very summit of Stevens Pass. Could even see some freezing rain in some locations, but it's not going to make it down here to the Wenatchee Valley. We're going to be way too warm for snow. We could see occasional snowflake, but that's really about it. And did I mention it's going to be wet and warm? Well, it's going to be wet and warm, or warm and wet, as the case may be. So get ready for some serious snow melt. Some of the area rivers and streams, especially the smaller streams, will be picking up in intensity, getting a little high. But if you have a storm drain in front of your house, make sure it's clear and clean so when the snow begins to melt, it can go where it needs to go. And this is a good time, if you haven't already done so, to do a little more shoveling because it gets a lot easier with some significant snow melt heading our way. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Chance of rain today, maybe a rain-snow mix at times, but I think we're going to be dry. Snow level is going to hover right around 2,600 feet. We're supposed to get up to 36, which is what we were supposed to get yesterday, and we only got to 34. Again, very little temperature variation, 34 for the overnight low. As far as rain, going to start about 2 in the morning while you're sleeping tonight. Going to rain all day on Saturday. Also the clouds and the fog associated with the rain, close to 40 for the afternoon high. Saturday night rain and a lot of it, and fog. And look at the overnight low, about 36, well above freezing. Sunday rain right up until about noon. Still clouds and still fog, and a high of 42. On Monday, looking pretty good for rain in the morning hours. Outside of that, will probably be dry with a high of 45. And then the chance of rain hovers right around 30, 40, 50%, really right on into Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday looks very wet also for the Wenatchee Valley. So get ready for just, well, a lot of rain. Intermittent rain here and there, but pretty steady rain overnight tonight, all day Saturday, all night Saturday night, and right on into Sunday. All right, going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Check out clubcrowcashmere.com for upcoming events and
Hey,
tickets.
welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Not nearly as cloudy and foggy as we've been seeing the last few days. It's 32 degrees, 36 or 37, pretty dry today. Rain starts overnight tonight. It's going to rain overnight tonight, all day Saturday night, tapering off on Sunday, and then hit and miss showers with very mild temperatures right on into February. 8 minutes after the hour, Wenatchee police say they have arrested a man for selling fentanyl to a woman who later suffered a fatal drug overdose. 42-year-old Jeremy Sundance Ballerjack was arrested this week on suspicion of distributing fentanyl and methamphetamine. The investigation began on January 7th. That was after a 46-year-old woman who was staying at the Wenatchee YWCA was found dead in a bathroom with drugs and drug paraphernalia. Police say the woman had spent the prior weekend at the Red Line Hotel. That's where she allegedly bought narcotics from Ballerjack. Ballerjack is being held currently at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. Moses Lake Police and federal authorities arrested 8 people this week. Indictments handed down for methamphetamine trafficking that allegedly led to a homicide. U.S. Attorney Vanessa Waldreff says 4 of the suspects were named in a 7-count federal indictment, charging them with methamphetamine sales and conspiracy. One of those suspects allegedly possessed a firearm that was used in the November 2023 murder of Armando Benavidez in the Mountain Lake Park area. Of the other 4 suspects, one is accused of hiding a cache of 35 firearms in his Moses Lake home, along with a pound of meth. 2 other people are charged with drug sales, and the 8th is charged with destroying a car which was set on fire in a Moses Lake parking lot over a drug debt. All 8 people are currently in jail. They're facing prosecution in U.S. District Court in Spokane. The annual Homeless Point in Time Count took place yesterday for Chelan County in conjunction with the Lighthouse Christian Ministries. The yearly survey is required by the Department of Housing and Urban Development to collect information for identifying the resources needed for individuals living without a home. NCW Life spoke with Housing Program Coordinator Amber Hallberg as well as a survey participant to see how it went.
Yeah, so we started this morning at about 7 a.m. We started with our outreach teams going to 4 different zones in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. And then we have a whole bunch of resources. We have somewhere in the ballpark of 15 to 17 organizations that are represented outside, not outside, in the cafeteria area of Lighthouse Christian Ministries. They've kind of lined the whole cafeteria, and it's been really great to see people who complete our surveys and then walk from table to table and fill resources into their backpack. So they don't have to participate in the survey to get resources. That's why we have all of the tabling out where the cafeteria is, because we know not everybody is going to feel comfortable filling out a survey. But in order to get a backpack with the supplies, it's somewhat of an incentive for them to fill out the survey that is required by the state and federal government to get a census of what the needs are in our community for housing. A common theme that we're seeing is just the length of homelessness and recidivism into homelessness. And that to me indicates, as someone who works for Chelan County and local government, what are we doing in the community and what do we need to change and what do we need to implement? So we're really working to find the gaps. And so it's been really nice to identify who has been homeless for how long and is this their first time experiencing homelessness.
My name's Kim. I'm here for the point in time survey. I thought it was good in order to help people and figure out where they're at and what they can do to help. It's awesome, and I know it sent, for me, myself, I came down to speak with the Housing Authority and the Y, and then when I walked in, it's just like all these people were here, and it's just like, can't do no better than that. Just to help anybody and everybody for the resources that are out there now that weren't there before.
A member of the board that oversees the Leavenworth School District, a member of that board has stepped aside, so now they have a vacancy. Zachary Miller stepping down from the Cascade School District Board of Directors that serves, of course, the upper Wenatchee Valley. The board will take applications for a replacement to fill out the last 11 months of Miller's term. Any adult registered voter residing in his sub-district, that's the Chumstick, Lake Wenatchee, and Plain areas, is welcome to apply. The board will take applications up until February 7th. They'll interview candidates on February 12th. An audit of Chelan County's public housing agency found that it didn't do what it was supposed to do. It didn't conduct required property inspections in the year 2021, largely due to the pandemic and lack of staff. The Housing Authority of Chelan County did not conduct any inspections in the year 2021, despite a federal requirement that calls for all properties to be inspected at least once annually. In 2022, inspections resumed, but it still did not assess all the dwelling units under its control. The agency says it stepped up its inspection schedule and improved its documentation since the audit was conducted. And the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center has a new employee. Her name is Shannon Janes. She is the new Special Events and Wells House Manager. Janes has a bachelor's degree in drama from the University of Washington, worked at the Pybus Bistro for 6 years, and then also worked at Betta Hatch. As part of the Wenatchee Museum team, she will spearhead the planning process for special events and will oversee the Wells House on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. And that's the news at 14 minutes after the hour. It's been a very busy news week, and we're not done yet. One more newscast coming your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight, 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life channel. If that doesn't work for you, up and running on the World Wide Web, our newscast right around 5 o'clock will be available for you to watch on our website, ncwlife.com, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. And if you haven't downloaded our app yet, that's how you go about doing it, right there. Oh, we have an Instagram page too. Sometimes I forget it. We have a Twitter account, an X account. Wow, I'm learning all kinds of stuff. If there's something out there that you think is newsworthy, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. If you're a fan of Gonzaga basketball, men or women, you had a good Thursday night. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Walker's Furniture is overstocked and we need to make room, so this week we're having an overstock sale. Get big discounts of 15 to 30%, even up to 70% off to help us reduce this inventory immediately.
While supplies last at Walker's.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
Over there.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCW Life channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Sports at 17 minutes after the hour. Graham Ike poured in 22 points, grabbed 7 rebounds. The Gonzaga men hold off a late rally from San Francisco, but they eked it out. The final 77-72.
Over 12 times. Make him know that he's a point of emphasis in the offense.
Watson driving in. Anton Watson off the glass.
He's going to have to score down the stretch a little bit more.
Watson makes his move. Watson, another bucket for Anton Watson. Hickman found Greg. 3. Good! Well off the mark. Here comes Demar. Watson. Good! Many threes. He was tempted. That's more his style. Wins it. His free throw shooting. Made them both. Rebound, Greg. And it's finally over.
And in other action, Dane Erikstrup scored 16 points. Eastern Washington wins for the 8th consecutive game. They beat Northern Colorado in Cheney last night. The final was 77-74. By the way, the Eagles remain undefeated in Big Sky play. They're 6-0. As far as the ladies are concerned, Yvonne E. Jim made 9 of 16 from the field. She finished with 19 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. Number 17, Gonzaga, beating Santa Clara 82-45 last night, so they extend their winning streak to 13 games. Jaleesa Lawrence pouring in 17 points off the bench. Jamie Laura added 16. The Eastern women beating Northern Colorado on the road last night, 68-62. All right, Kraken hockey. Yeah, they're trying to put together a 2-game winning streak after snapping their 4-game losing streak against Chicago a couple of days ago. The Blues are in town at St. Louis at Seattle, 7 o'clock tonight. You can watch that on Root Sports Northwest. The women's college basketball schedule looks something like this. Today, you got Washington State at USC. That's at 7 o'clock on Pac-12 Washington. And Washington is at UCLA at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, number 17 Gonzaga will be in San Francisco to take on the Lady Dons, 2 o'clock. You can watch that on ESPN+. And then on Sunday, it's Washington State at UCLA at 1 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network, and Washington at USC at 12 o'clock on Pac-12 Washington. The men's college basketball schedule for Saturday: Gonzaga is at Pacific at 7 o'clock on Route. Colorado at Washington State at 2 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network. And the Utes will be in Seattle to take on the Huskies, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Doop. Scores from last night from our friends at Les Schwab. Cashmere beat Quincy in Caribou Trail League action. No problems there. 59-16. Zilla beat Chelan, non-leaguer there, 59-38. Okanagan rolled over Manson, 64-14. And Tenasket over Bridgeport in girls basketball, 65-7. In the boys, it was the Quincy Jackrabbits over Cashmere, 70-49. Zilla completes the sweep, beating Chelan 85-53. Manson over Okanagan, 61-41, and Tenasket just got by Bridgeport in boys basketball, 58-56. They celebrated senior night in Eastmont High School with the wrestling team, and they beat their Cross River rivals in boys wrestling, Eastmont 48, Wenatchee 21. To the schedule for tonight is Eastmont at Wenatchee at 5:30. We will have that game for you right here on the NCAA Live channel. It will be on our Facebook page, streaming at 5:30. Sunnyside is at Moses Lake at 4:30. That's an early tip-off. Ellensburg will try and keep their 67-game winning streak alive. They'll be in Ephrata to take on the Tigers at 5:30. It's Omak at Cascade at 5:45. Cashmere travels to Okanagan tonight at 6 o'clock in girls basketball. Liberty Bell at Lake Roosevelt at 6 o'clock, and Oroville will be at Brewster also at 6 o'clock. The boys tonight looks something like this at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it to the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium, by the way, they're inducting this year's Hall of Fame class tonight as well. The Wildcats and the Panthers, 7 o'clock. That'll be on NCAA Live channel. That happens to be us. Sunnyside will be at Moses Lake at 7 o'clock. Ellensburg at Ephrata at 7. They'll tip off at 7:15 for Omak at Cascade. The 7:30 games tonight in boys basketball: Cashmere at Okanagan, Liberty Bell at Lake Roosevelt, and Oroville at Brewster. That's today. Tomorrow, another full slate. Sunnyside will be at Eastmont at 4:30. The Wenatchee girls travel down to Yakima, the gateway to Wapato, to take on Davis at 4:30. And also at 4:30, Moses Lake will host Eisenhower. 3:30 tip-off for East Valley at Ellensburg and girls basketball on Saturday. Ephrata is at Othello at 3:30. Quincy will be at Liberty Bell at 3:30. And it's homecoming, Bridgeport at Waterville Mansfield at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And for the boys, same games, just a little bit later. Sunnyside at Eastmont at 6 o'clock, Wenatchee at Davis at 6, also at 6, Moses Lake and Eisenhower in boys basketball. 5 o'clock tip-off for East Valley at Ellensburg, Ephrata at Othello, Quincy at Liberty Bell, that's Liberty Bell, not Libert Bell, and Bridgeport at Waterville Mansfield at 5:30. Head on over to Eastmont Lanes and watch a whole bunch of bowling. In case you forgot, Eastmont, Wenatchee, and West Valley all shared the Columbia Basin Big Nine regular season title, and now it's district championship time. Moses Lake will be participating as well. Top two teams will advance to state next week. Wild hockey, they got a couple of games this weekend. Tonight, Seattle is in town. The Thunderbirds will be taking on the Wenatchee Wild. 7 o'clock is when they drop the puck. As you can see, the Wenatchee Wild have a much better record than Seattle, we shall see. And then Sunday, Prince George, the team with the best record in the division. They are first place. They will take on the Wenatchee Wild at the Town Toyota Center at 4 o'clock. You can wrap up your weekend with the NFL Conference Championship games. Going first, the AFC Championship for the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Kansas City at Baltimore is supposed to be raining cats and dogs in Baltimore on Sunday afternoon. That's at 12 noon on CBS. And then Detroit and San Francisco for the George Halas Trophy, 3:30 on Fox. The winners will play in the Super Bowl on February 11th in Las Vegas. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 26th day of January. Happy National Spouses Day today. If you have one, this is your day. Fun facts about marriage. The average married couple has sex about once a week, but 20% of married couples, American married couples, have none. In France, it is legal to marry a dead person. Didn't know that. Why, I don't know. Every day in Las Vegas, over 300 couples get married. In Las Vegas, every day. Wow. According to a most recent survey, among happy couples, their third year of marriage is the happiest of all of those. I'm not surprised there. Every hour, 100 divorces are granted in this country. And if you have gamophobia, you have the fear of commitment. And by the way, Americans are staying single longer. The median age at a first marriage is at its highest point ever, 30. 30 for men, 28 for women. People are waiting longer before they get married. The number of Americans living with an unmarried partner is up 29%. Over the past 10 years, 25% of married couples were married before. That's way up. In the early 1960s, 60 years ago, it was 10% of people on a second or third marriage. Now it's up to 25%. Happy National Spouses Day today. It's 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, let's do another state joining the Union. Take a look at that flag. It's a pretty good flag, all things considered. A lot of Latin in there. I'll let you take a guess. Take a look at it a little bit longer, and I'll tell you what state was admitted to the Union on this date in 1837. Michigan. Michigan is admitted as the 26th U.S. state. It's known as the Great Lakes state for a pretty obvious reason. No matter where you are in Michigan, wherever you are standing, you are never, ever farther than 85 miles from one of the Great Lakes. In fact, Michigan has the largest freshwater shoreline in the country. Michigan lost the Toledo War, and by losing the Toledo War, they were given the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the upper part of Michigan. They didn't want it. We don't want this, but it was that or nothing, so they took it. Turns out it was a pretty good idea. There was enough copper generated in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. In fact, enough copper, it was 10 times the value of the California gold rush. So they ended up with a bunch of property they didn't want. Turns out there was a bunch of copper in there. Worked out good for everybody. In Michigan, it is illegal to buy or sell a car on Sunday. Now, this is Michigan. This is Detroit, the automobile industry. But in Michigan, it is against the law to buy or sell a car on Sundays. There is an exception. With counties with populations under 130,000, they are allowed to buy and sell cars on Sunday. In small counties, not in big ones. I don't know why. Happy birthday to Michigan, 187 years old today. The amazing story of Vesna Vulovic. Vesna Vulovic was a stewardess on board JAT Flight 367. It was flying at about 33,000 feet, and a terrorist bomb blew the plane up. Everybody on board died except her. When the bomb went off and the massive decompression, she was actually sitting in the back of the airplane, and the cart that they drive up and down the aisles pinned her against the fuselage. She was sucked out. She fell 6.5 miles. She fell 33,300 feet. Luckily, through a dense forest of trees, which broke her fall, and then into a bunch of snow, she survived. She still holds the world record for longest, highest fall without a parachute. She fell 33,330 feet, 6 1/3 miles, and lived. Barely, but she lived. Incredible story there. That was in 1972. 4 Super Bowls were played on this date. Super Bowl XX, sometimes called Super Bowl 20. Superdome in New Orleans, the Chicago Bears completed a remarkable year. They defeat the Patriots 46-10. The game wasn't even that close. This is the most recent Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl when both teams were making their Super Bowl debuts. New England remains the only team who finished 3rd in their own division and make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Halftime, Super Bowl 20, Super Bowl XX on this date, 1986. Up with People. And it was the last, by the way, halftime show with Up with People. The NFL decided to change directions. The Bears and their Super Bowl shuffle take it all home. Super Bowl XXVI, for those of you who don't like Roman numerals, I'm one of them. That's Super Bowl 26. Washington defeats Buffalo 37-24 at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. The Metrodome, of course, is no longer there. It is the smallest stadium to ever host a Super Bowl. This Super Bowl had a lot of problems right from the start. The opening kickoff, they had to do it all over again. Buffalo won the toss, elected to defer, so Buffalo kicked to Washington, and the kicker kicked it off, and the guy ran back the opening kickoff. Then they had to do it all over again because the referee hadn't actually blown the whistle to put the ball into play. Washington punted on their first possession, and then for the first 2 plays of the Buffalo Bills' first possession, their best player, Thurman Thomas, couldn't find his helmet. You remember that? Unbelievable. Halftime show, Gloria Estefan, Brian Boitano, Dorothy Hamill, and the University of Minnesota Marching Band. And as counter-programming on Fox, they did a live special edition of In Living Color, which got higher ratings than the actual Super Bowl halftime show. And that was when the NFL finally said, I think we need to start bringing in some big-name musical acts. Super Bowl 26 on this date in 1992. Super Bowl XXXI, Super Bowl 31 on this date, 27 years ago. The Packers are back. They beat the Patriots 35-21 at the Superdome in New Orleans. This was the last of 13 consecutive victories for the NFC. They won 13 straight Super Bowls. This was the last of those. This was the first Super Bowl to be televised by Fox. The halftime show, The Blues Brothers. John Goodman, Dan Aykroyd, Jim Belushi, ZZ Top, and James Brown. Super Bowl 31 on this date in 1997. Super Bowl XXXVII. Super Bowl 37. Tampa Bay defeats the Raiders in Qualcomm Stadium, 48-21. This remains now, this is 21 years now, the last Super Bowl to have been played in the month of January. Every Super Bowl since over the last 21 years, including this year in February. And at 31 minutes after the hour, 2 heavenly birthdays. Douglas MacArthur, still a controversial figure, even though he's been dead for 60 years, one of only 5 men to attain the rank of 5-star general. Read the book American Caesar. Everything you need to know about Douglas MacArthur, born in this state in 1880. Paul Newman was born 99 years ago today. I love the movie Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. HUD, The Hustler, Cool Hand Luke, although I couldn't eat eggs for a while after I watched that movie. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, great movie, watched that a couple of weeks ago. The Towering Inferno, Slapshot, The Verdict, and his one and only Academy Award for Best Actor for The Color of Money, Paul Newman, born in the state in 1925. And one of only 3 athletes in professional sports history to have his number retired by the entire league. Jackie Robinson's 42 will never be worn again in Major League Baseball. Bill Russell's number 6 has been retired by the NBA, all of it. Nobody wears number 6 anymore in the NBA. And 99, Wayne Gretzky, 63 years old today, still considered by many to be the greatest hockey player of all time. Special thanks to Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. They're platinum sponsors here of the NCW Life channel. Mike Mignotti's got an opinion about what, I can't remember. I loaded it a couple of days ago. And then in case you missed a great interview with our friends at the Alethea Writing Center, they have this immersion event to help veterans out. It's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Nancy Gretty and Jim Cook will be joining me when we come back. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Local cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota compact and utility tractors. Rated #1 in durability and owner experience, they're built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota tractors for 0 down, 2.99% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying snow attachments. See your local Kubota dealer today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my first real job was an usher in a movie theater, the Park Theater, Caldwell, New Jersey. Oh man, I love that job. And I do love the movies. A good plot, strong characters, and cool special effects. Special effects, if they're believable, I love that stuff. But you know what's often better, just as good as a movie in its own way, is live theater. Watching real humans in real time play out lives and joys and tragedies, or a good comedy that just smacks your belly in the tummy so your tummy aches from laughing so much. And as for many of us, a good musical, well, that's not too schmaltzy, where you can just sit back and let the music wash over you. You know, I'm often surprised when I'm doing a show and talking about it by the number of people here locally who have never experienced good live theater. Are you one of them? Think about it. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Just a quick little disclaimer before we begin this interview. If in the course of the following 10-12 minutes a horse walks into the shot, they're horses. They're going to do what they want to do. Nancy, it's good to see you. Introduce your friend here to your left, please, if you don't mind.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for coming. This is my friend Jim Cook, and I'm going to let him introduce himself because his story is amazing in its own right. So, yeah, Jim's working with Alethea now.
Do you want me to call you Sergeant Cook or...
No, Dan, that's all right. Jim is good because that's all my past career now. So
we'll talk about your past career and how you ended up in Nancy's fine organization in late summer.
Yeah, so 2000 is when I graduated high school here from Wenatchee High School and joined the military, joined the Army right after that, and served 23 years, both as an infantry guy and then as an intelligence analyst. Went through the ranks, got all the way up to Command Sergeant Major, was my last rank, leaving Fort Shafter, Hawaii. Moved back, I have a family of 4 children and my wife, Colina, and moved back to town. We're out in Malaga right now, and trying to get connected back into the veteran community of Wenatchee, because I dealt with it so much during my 23 years that I knew I wanted to be a part of something here. And Nancy and Alethea through Tony there in town had got me linked up through WDVA and VetCorps to be the veteran coordinator, to bring vets up to go through our sessions and our workshops that we have up at Alethea.
You can do pretty much whatever you want. Why this? Why? I mean, with your background and your training and your education with the Army, you could pretty much write your own ticket, and yet you're here. Why this of all things?
Because it's amazing. It is awesome. I never worked with horses. I've never owned a horse. Barely ever rode a horse. But when I found the opportunity to connect with a horse through a couple of events through the military, and then one when I was out, I knew it was something that I wanted to do and see the difference of veterans that are either struggling or just dealing with stuff to come up and actually try something different rather than a talk therapy, because we all do talk therapy, but this is something different that connects in a different way. And so,
what is it about horses and riding horses and being around them that is a good thing in that regard?
That they have no judgment of me. They have no judgment of any veteran that comes up, anybody that comes into our arena. They just want to feel safe. And when a veteran comes in and is not feeling the best that day, the horse is able to make a connection and have either that person or that group of people realize that making each other safe and making each other feel comfortable is all that it really matters. And once you feel comfortable, your brain starts thinking the right way, your body starts reacting the right way, and the horses do that. They're 2,000 pounds of pure awesomeness that help you connect.
They know they can pick a vibe up, can't you? They probably knew early on, this is a pretty cool guy. I want to hang around with Jim.
Yeah, I hope so.
Did you pick up that vibe?
I did. So a couple of them here, the first couple days were a little pushed away from me, and that might just be something inside of me. But since I've been here for about 2 months now, I can pretty much go up to any one of the horses and give them a big hug in the morning and say, all right, well, it's time to work. So, yep, they've come around.
What is it about riding a horse, Nancy, that does something to? I can speak. I used to have horses. I used to ride horses. I loved horses. I miss having horses. There's something about it that is kind of not explainable. But if anybody can explain the joy of horseback riding in a therapeutic sense, you are probably the expert. What is it about horses and riding them and being around them that does something to you?
Well, there's something that's heart, soul, and body. Heart, soul, body, and mind that is kind of unexplainable. But physically, I know that for every minute you're on a horse, there's 100 balance accommodations. So that's why it strengthens the body. But also a horse's heart rate, they can sense a heart rate from you from 8 feet away. And they'll be able to sense whether it's fast or slow, calm, whatever. And oftentimes they can help regulate heart rate in an individual. And so that gets to the point of helping a person to feel good. Something about anxiety, anxiety melts when you get next to a horse. Respiration changes. It's just, it's hard to explain, but there's just something about the physical aspect of the horse and also the spiritual aspect of a horse that speaks to our souls.
And these were not just your run-of-the-mill horses. To me, no horse is run-of-the-mill. Every horse is special.
Yeah.
And yet this is a different kind of breed. Talk about the specific.
It's a special breed. So these are Norwegian fjord horses. They originated in Norway, and most of them came like about the mid-70s. They were brought here, but they have a temperament that is super kind and gentle and calm. They're predictable. They're what you would call an honest horse. So that means what you see right now is basically what you get. They're beautiful. They're sure-footed. They're quiet. Nothing really startles them or surprises them.
And horses are naturally sociable animals. They like to hang around other horses.
Yes.
There's probably 6 in the arena right now. They're just hanging.
They're just hanging. Yeah.
How do you? Each horse has its own personality.
Yes,
And how do you figure that out? How do How do you figure out this horse has this personality and this horse likes to be with this horse?
They let you know.
Do they?
It's through observation.
Yeah.
And you get to know them pretty quickly. Like when a new horse comes into the program, we don't know necessarily what they're going to be like, but we can observe them, how they interact in the herd. Herd dynamics are super important in our work, and so we just observe them when we're putting them through different exercises when we get them, so that we can try to determine, are they going to tolerate this? Are they going to tolerate that? How do they feel about a lot of people around them, or do they only like one or two people around them? They all are very unique.
Jim, when you're working with the horses and you're new to this whole deal, and again, we're just sitting here in the arena with the horses are just hanging around.
Yep.
Do you have are you projecting to the horses, I'm kind of in charge? Like when you're with me, I'm kind of like the alpha male, or?
No.
No.
Nope. That doesn't work. You know, if a lot of things work that way, but when I come in and a horse wants to go somewhere, I'm not going to be able to stop the horse from going somewhere. Now I can try to guide it, and I can try to suggest that it's safe over this way where they don't want to go, and I have to project that protection to them and that safety to them, and then most likely they'll head that way. But they are strong animals, and they are strong-minded as well. Yeah. If they see some food or they see something that they want to go and do, they're going to go and do it. And we just have to make sure that we're in the right place, that they feel safe around us, so then they listen to kind of our suggestions of where they want to go.
When you told your wife, I'm going to go to work for Nancy up here after serving my country and doing it so well, did she think maybe you lost your noodle just a little bit?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Speculating.
Yeah, no, you're right. She was concerned that I didn't have any horse experience. I actually was very afraid of horses when I first started. There's a couple in here that are pretty big and bigger than me, and so after seeing how Nancy interacts with them, seeing how the staff and everybody here goes through the programs with both the veterans and the others that come up, it really kind of calmed me down, and I was able to stand in the arena with 13 horses and not be scared and not be worried about what's going to happen. And I think that is where I told my wife it is amazing the connections that I have, and she's happy that I took this route instead of a desk or something like that.
And it's also advantageous, Nancy. He didn't come in with any preconceived notions.
Right.
He wasn't bucked off a horse when he was 5 and hates him now. So you didn't have to really worry about that. You had a fresh coat of paint to work with.
Yes, he came in very open-minded and willing to learn, and that's been a great experience for us.
We're going to talk to my good buddy Tony and his guest here in just a couple of minutes, but while we have here, talk about this immersion event that's coming up,
yes.
I believe towards the end of this month?
Yes,
and you guys can both address this, probably you more than
Go
Nancy.
ahead.
Okay, yeah, so at the end of the month, the 26th, 27th, 28th, we're going to have 12 couples. We're hoping to get couples, but we're having 12 veterans that is sponsored by Washington State WDVA to come out through the Staff Sergeant Fox program, to come out for an immersion weekend, to go through every kind of different exercise that we have, that we offer through the equine and EGALA therapy, but also some of the community is going to come up. Some of the community in town that offers services to vets is going to be here as well, on the ground with us, with the horses and with the participants. And hopefully we're getting them from all 4 counties that Alethea is a part of. So that's going to be a great event later this month.
Yeah.
Good for you, Nancy, because it's easier to say no than it is to say yes, and Nancy says yes to these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Quick update before we cut you loose. I know you're busy. The new facility, about a mile from where we're sitting on the
right
other
over
side
there.
of the river. How's that going so far?
It's going great. We've broken ground, so anybody who drives by on Easy Street at the foot of American Fruit Road, it's a little hard to see there because of the contour of the land, but we've broken ground. There's a lot of dirt to move. We have a building ordered, which is going to be our large arena, and that should be arriving hopefully sometime in March, and as soon as it arrives, we're going to start construction. And our hope is that we're going to be in sometime in 25. And that's just going to open the doors to so many services and programs that we currently offer, but that might have a waiting list.
And you need the elbow room, quite frankly.
We do, yes, we do.
Yeah, horses like horses like a lot of space. That's
Yes.
the other thing I discovered about that. Best of luck. I'm glad you landed in a place that you seem to be real happy here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
I for one, don't like to be behind a desk much anyway.
That's right. Yeah, it's much better out
It
here.
is.
That's right. Yeah.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we're going to be right back.
Hey folks, Lehman here with Crown Furniture and Mattress. Folks, there's no question if you're looking for top quality furniture and mattresses, Crown Furniture and Mattress is the place for you. Whether it's Flex Steel's patented blue steel spring, Englander's 120 years of innovation, or Stanton's incredible comfort. Folks, we have it all. So stop by and see us today at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Welcome to Gilded Lily Home, where something extraordinary is waiting. You'll be delighted to find an amazing selection of specialty foods and tabletop decor. Browse their uniquely curated collection of gifts. Shop for yourself in their wide collection of jewelry and clothing, and for your home with their amazing hand-selected furniture, lighting, and decor. The Gilded Lily Home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, and your lifestyle.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Abby says thank you to our thousands of pizza-loving friends from our first 60 years. From our family to yours, thank you. This January, Abby's is proud to offer our classic Big Hawaiian Pizza at a very special price. Order now at abbys.com or join us in our parlor for a legendary pizza tradition.
All right, getting ready to get our weekend going. We have a little bit of time, and people really like the cameras around the valley. Like, they love those PTZ cameras. Courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi division. It's one thing to have all of these towers all over the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington so people can get high-speed internet without having to have fiber run to their house. But it's another thing altogether to put cameras on top of the towers. And that's a nice little thing that we get to play with. But I have to remind our coworkers, these cameras are tools, not toys. Now the sun is completely up and starting to climb higher in the sky with these longer days. I'm really digging these longer days. We thought we'd take another tour around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley with our PTZ cameras. That's an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom. We can move them around. We can zoom them in. We can zoom them out. We can go up and down. We can do the hokey pokey. And as you can see, we've had quite a bit of snow melt over the last couple of days. Temperatures haven't been really warm. We only got to 34 yesterday. We'll be slightly warmer than that today, but you can see the snow was starting to recede a little bit on the foothills around the Wenatchee Valley, and it will continue to recede. We're in for some very warm and very wet weather. We'll do that complete forecast for you, too, one more time in the not-too-distant future. Rock on camera. I think we're going to do it again. Yep. There we go. As soon as that snow, who knows, the Rock Island Golf Course usually is one of the first courses that opens. And if we have all the snow melt that they're expecting, and with the warm temperatures, they might be golfing by this time next week. Keep in mind, if the temperature gets below freezing, they don't let you walk on the greens because you can damage the greens. But as long as the temperatures are, say, like 35 and warmer, and you can't hurt the greens, they'll open it up. Go play golf in February in our area. That's something we can normally do. Good morning to Rock Island and Malaga on the other side of the river. Up to Omi Garden we go. Dun, da, da, da. Good morning to the Omi Garden camera. Pretty light traffic here on this Friday. You can see the Columbia River is running pretty quiet and pretty low. It's going to rise up, I think, a little bit with the area streams that feed into the Columbia River, as they're going to rise up in intensity with the upcoming rain and the warm temperature. And finally to McNeil Canyon, and we check out Lake Chelan. And this is a really tall tower. It's one of the tallest towers that we have. It's about at the highest point, and then we have it so high that we can actually look over the top of that ridge and see Lake Chelan. Chelan Popper is in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, so the very tip top of McNeil County. You notice everybody is covered in clouds and fog, not as dense and not as thick and not as low as it has been, but we're not going to have any sunshine. Oh, and it's a bonus camera, and I'm pretty sure that's got to be Billy Goat. A bonus camera, that's a nice little treat, and it looks like they have a couple of little clear skies. Let me check real quick. I'm accurate, 34 degrees. It's dropped a little bit. It was 33 when this show started. It's now 30 degrees here in the big city, but we're going to warm up a little bit. In fact, what we'll do is we'll take a little break. When we come back, we'll let you know what to expect for the weekend and farther down the line with the weather forecast. We'll wrap it up when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Your home runs on hot water. Hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
At Coldwell Banker, their people, their company are cut from a different cloth. They see, hear, sense, and feel things that other people don't. They have a unique appreciation for the thing called home. Because of this dedication, Coldwell Banker has thrived for over a century. This is why they are ranked #1 on agent trust. Coldwell Banker. They do real estate with higher standards and have been guiding people home since 1906.
All right, let's get your weekend going. And for me, it's going to be a long weekend. I'll get to that in just a little bit. First of all, a couple of slides to show for you that we showed at the top of the show. The snow level is going to be very high. The system that's coming in has been well advertised. We haven't been keeping it a secret from you. Started way out in the Hawaiian Islands about 4 days ago. Is grabbing all that warm, moist air, the proverbial Pineapple Express, and it will begin to visit us overnight tonight into Saturday. So if you're driving in the mountain passes today, there is a winter weather advisory for today, mainly starting late this afternoon and going into the evening hours, and then the snow level is going to go up above pass level as we start getting hammered with a lot of rain pretty much all weekend long. But you could get one of those little rain-snow mixes in some locations, patches of that, and that's the big purple swath that you can see there. It'll peter out by the time it gets to the Lake Wenatchee, Leavenworth area, but we want to let you know about that. And yeah, wet and warm, or warm and wet, if you prefer, and that means a lot of snow melt. The area streams, the smaller ones anyway, going to start picking up in intensity, probably get a little dirty. Possible minor flash flooding. I don't think that's going to happen because it's not going to be a big warm up. It's going to be a gradual warm up, and that's going to allow the snow to melt at a more tempered level, but get ready for some big-time snow melt. And here is your forecast from the National Weather Service. 36 today, probably dry until we get to tonight, when about midnight or so it's going to start raining. As it'll be raining when you get up Saturday, and it's going to rain all day, and it's going to warm up to near 40. It's going to rain Saturday night. It'll taper off on Sunday. Will be dry Sunday night, and then a continuing chance of lingering rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as we say hello to February, and right on into Thursday. The one thing you will notice, obviously the temperatures are going to be very mild, into the upper 40s by the middle of next week. And not only that, but absolutely no sunshine, none whatsoever. So just a continuing period of warm and wet weather, which is not something we normally see in late January and early February. In the world of broadcast television, we don't go on vacation, we go on assignment. So I will be on assignment for the next couple of weeks. Jasmine Sanchez is going to be filling in for me. You're going to like her. She's pretty cool. She's been hanging around with us for the last couple of days trying to get the hang of this show. And so Jasmine Sanchez for the next week, possibly for the next 2 weeks, will be hosting Wake Up Wenatchee Valley while I am on assignment. I will see you the day after the Super Bowl. Bye-bye.
Greetings, North Central Washington. Welcome, everyone, to another thrilling episode of Networked. I'm your host, David Mabey, the Marketing Director for the NCW Tech Alliance, and I'm stepping in for our regular host, Jenny, who's currently out of town, but you know what? I'm going to do my best to fill in for today. Today, we've got an exceptionally creative guest with a fascinating journey. Joining us today is the talented Meg Kapler, the Executive Director of the NCW Arts Alliance. From her roots in Ephrata, Washington, Meg's career path has been as diverse as a vibrant and has a carefully curated palette. She began her journey in the performing arts world, equipped with her BAF in the theater arts from Pacific Lutheran University. Her early career saw her dazzling audiences as an actor and also work